I briefly touched on an advertisement inside EGM based on the game Earthbound in a YouTube short to experiment with the feature, but just want to do another video to kind of expand upon that because there are multiple assets to the advertisement that I can't get across within 15 seconds of the YouTube short. So just taking a look here, it's Electronic Gaming Monthly number 73, which is August 1995. You see on the cover here, full of Mortal Kombat 3 information. The Ultimate Combat Code has been revealed. The game is about the hit home system, so there's a ton of coverage about Mortal Kombat 3 in this issue. However, inside we have the Earthbound This Game Stinks advertisement. And this has been quite notable over the years. It's not only in this magazine, but also in things like Nintendo Power itself ran these items, and I remember a Nintendo Power that I had an expansive page full of these little items here where you lift up a little tab on here and it's essentially like a scratch and sniff type item. But the thing with these scratch and sniff items is that they are supposed to be stinky. So, and you can see here there's the animals that you can dare to smell. And see this one's towards the dog's rear end, and then these ones are placed toward their mouths. And then I remember seeing one advertisement where it kind of described what you were supposed to be smelling. I vaguely remember this being burnt fur, since it's like a dog that's on fire. It's supposed to simulate something like fur being burnt. And then there's these other, I'm not even certain what these, this one might be trash. And then I can't remember what the other ones are, but yeah, August 1995, and this is still all attached. It's got the full advertisement, has the coupon and everything. So I'm going to take a quick look here, take a quick sniff here, and see. I did the YouTube short, so this one definitely still has a little bit of its smell. So we're going to go through this again, and we're going to give all three of these a sample and take a little bit of a closer look at the advertisement. Alright, and the advertisement is warning me that this game stinks, so we can take a look here again. This one, I recall it being supposed to be something like burnt fur, but we'll lift up the tab and yeah, like I said in the YouTube short, I think it's lost a little bit of its scent, but you can still smell it, and it's not exactly a pleasant smell. So let's see if these other two still have their smell. This one lifted up. Ooh, that one smells a little bit stronger than the burnt fur. Still not exactly sure what it's supposed to be, but it doesn't exactly smell pleasant. And then we have the third one here on the rat. Yeah, all three of them, I can't say that they smell pleasant, but I think they're old enough to the point to where they've lost a little bit of their potency. So I do remember them being a bit of an affront to the senses when this advertisement first came out. But I think especially this one, it has the tear on it, so the smell probably escaped from it a little bit more than these other ones. So surprisingly, after all these years, so we're talking like 26 years, these still have a bit of their smell to them, which is surprising to me. But we can take a look here on the other end here. There's a lot more stench where this came from, and you can clip a coupon here. And if you were to clip it before January 31st, 1996, you could get $10 off of the Earthbound Super Nintendo game. Over here it comes with more rude smells than the old pull my finger joke. Haha. Yeah, you've never seen or smelled a role-playing game like this. Shortly after the government tries to cover up a sudden outbreak of criminal behavior all over the world, a horrific meteor shower and hordes of reeking, belching monsters turn up. You'll travel to different towns across new worlds and through time to face Gygus, the evil time-traveling alien who is to blame for all the mess. Each Earthbound game pack comes with a free 128-page player's guide loaded with info about where the best grub is, who to hang with, and what you need to avoid. Keep it nearby though, because the lowdown on all those heinous monsters will come in quite handy if they get too close. Open a window fast. Some of them are more than right. but the adventure doesn't start until you do. Grab some air freshener and start sniffing around for an Earthbound game pack. It's the first role-playing game that stinks. And this is how Nintendo of America chose to market Earthbound, or Mother 2 as its Japanese name. And I can't say, like, years later I kind of look back at this advertising, like, maybe as a kid I kind of thought maybe it was being that age, maybe I thought it was a little bit clever, but like these days I look at these advertisements and now I understand why this game sold so poorly when it released, at least to my knowledge. And there's been videos, there's like the YouTube channel Defunct Games, which you should follow. He has extensive magazine collection. He goes back and he goes back to all the Earthbound reviews, and I can attest to this, seeing the magazines back in the day. This game did not exactly get reviewed very well in magazines at the time. When you consider things like Final Fantasy, coming off of Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 3, which would be 4 and 6 in Japan, and then you got things like Chrono Trigger were releasing. In fact, this issue, the game of the month, according to the highest reviewed game of the month, is Chrono Trigger. So a lot of reviewers comparing Earthbound to games like that, and they felt it just didn't compare. But I mean, you fast forward to these days, and a lot of people are very vocal about their love for Earthbound. But in the moment when they were trying to sell this game, this is how they chose to do it. And I guess that's I'd have to look up data to see exactly how well it theoretically sold, because how I got my Earthbound copy was the day that Final Fantasy VII released for PlayStation. It was my 16th birthday. Walked into a Best Buy to buy Final Fantasy VII, walked to the gaming section, and they had a pile. Like, it was packed up, it was shaped like a pyramid. They had a pile of Earthbounds that they were selling for $9.99. And at that time, I did enjoy the game, but I didn't own it. I was always renting it, and seeing it for $9.99, I was like, well, why not? And that's how I came across and picked up my copy of Earthbound, which is not valued at $10 these days. I admit I do not have the box anymore, but I have to look around. I do have the strategy guide somewhere, so I have the cartridge and the strategy guide. But yeah, that's... just thought this was interesting, especially since I just purchased this magazine from a type of swap meet event for video games. There is a video for that. It is the Cleveland CCAG, and there is a travel vlog on this channel that shows my travel and what I picked up at that event, and this magazine was one of those. And to my surprise, I did not expect this to still be attached, and I further did not expect it to still smell.